Very good evening to everyone. Namaskar, pranam. I am absolutely privileged and happy to be here on this occasion of the fourth edition of HIMSamwaad, and realizing how important this whole subject is for all of us, for the country. It is natural that we all put our heads together and address the problem and challenges that we foresee in ensuring the sustainable development goals which have been spoken of. They are often talked of. In fact, the United Nations speaks of these. They even speak of human rights. अगर हम इसके ऊपर ध्यान दें तो इससे पहले कि मैं कुछ बोलूं, मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि हिम संवाद जो है, हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री की जो दूरदृष्टि है, उसका एक ये फॉलोआउट है। क्यों? 5, 6, 7 दशक पहले कई योजनाएं उस वक्त भी चली और उसमें से एक योजना थी गरीबी हटाओ। योजना बड़ी अच्छी थी, सार्थक थी, लेकिन उसको सार्थक बनाने से लोग वंचित रह गए और उसके बाद में लुप्त हो गई। हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जब उन्होंने कार्यभार संभाला तो उनकी जो दूरदृष्टि है विकसित भारत 2047, वो एक बहुत बड़ी दूरदृष्टि है और उसके कई छोटे भाग हैं। एक सबसे ज़रूरी बात जो उन्होंने कही कि वो चाहते हैं कि देश में जो पिछड़ी जनजातियां हैं, जो मार्जिनलाइज्ड कम्युनिटीज़ हैं, उनकी तरफ ध्यान देना ज़रूरी है। तो उन्होंने भी नारा निकाला, लेकिन नारा निकाला ही नहीं, उसके ऊपर वो स्कीम कैसे चलेंगी, उसका उद्देश्य क्या होगा और हम किस तरह से उसको हासिल करेंगे, ये आप पिछले 7-8 साल से देख रहे हैं। और मैं आपको ये बता दूं कि जितनी भी योजनाएं केंद्र की तरफ से और कुछ हमारे राज्य की तरफ से भी चल रही हैं, उनकी इस दूरदृष्टि को सार्थक बनाने में, उसको अगर हम बड़े पैमाने पे देखें तो वो सब सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल से मेल खाती हैं। वो सब ह्यूमन राइट के इश्यूज से मेल खाती है। सड़क, पानी, बिजली, दूरसंचार, क्या क्या नहीं है, महिलाओं का सशक्तिकरण, और सिर्फ मेल ही नहीं खाती है, वो चल रही हैं, मेरे ख्याल से दौड़ रही हैं। और पहली बार किसी प्रधानमंत्री ने इतने बड़े देश की इतनी बड़ी आबादी को एक दिशा दी है। सिर्फ वो ही नहीं, मैं हैरान हूँ उस बात से कि यहाँ पर पिछले मेरे को 2.5 साल हो गए हैं, हर 10 से 15 दिन में एक सेंट्रल केंद्रीय मंत्री या मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट यहाँ पर आते हैं। वो इसलिए कि वो जाके देखना चाहते हैं कि ये योजना जो है वो चल रही है या नहीं, उसमें कुछ बाधा तो नहीं है, और हमसे मिलके अगर जो भी हमारे प्रस्ताव होते हैं उनकी वहाँ सुनवाई होती है। उन्होंने इस तरह से कार्यक्रम बना रखा है कि जितने भी कार्यकर्ता है, प्रशासन है, वरिष्ठ अधिकारी है, मंत्रीगण हैं, गवर्नर हैं, हम सब की जिम्मेदारियां हैं कि हम इसका नियंत्रण करें और इसको आगे बढ़ाएं। और उन्होंने जो नारा दिया, सबका साथ, सबका विश्वास, सबका प्रयास, मेरे ख्याल से ये एक सार्थक नारा है और इसके चलते हम सब मिलजुल के ये काम कर रहे हैं। इसमें कई लोगों को परेशानियां भी हैं। जो लोग काम लेने के बाद उसे जेब में रख लेते थे और सोचते नहीं थे, आज उनको वो मौका नहीं मिल रहा है। आप काम करिए या जाइए, चाहे वो केंद्र मंत्री हैं या प्रशासन है या ब्यूरोक्रेसी है या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स की जो है चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं, गवर्नर हैं, किसकी मीटिंग्स आपने नहीं की? गवर्नर्स की, चीफ मिनिस्टर्स की, लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर्स की, डीआईजीज की, डीजीज की, डीजी पुलिस की, चीफ सेक्रेटरीज की। वो इसलिए है कि वो सारे एंड्स को जोड़ रहे हैं कि कहीं पानी लीक तो नहीं हो रहा है, ये देखने के लिए। मैं इसके बारे में इसलिए बात कर रहा हूँ कि जो हिम संवाद है, आज हम पानी और स्वास्थ्य के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, इसके अलावा बाकी जो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स हैं वो भी शामिल हैं। और आपकी जब डिस्कशंस यहाँ होंगी तो इन दोनों गोल्स के अलावा भी आप बातचीत करेंगे, क्योंकि ये सब एक दूसरे में मिली जुली हैं। तो ये कहना सही होगा कि संवाद को सार्थक करने के लिए इसकी शुरुआत होने से पहले ही इसके ऊपर सोच विचार हो चुका है। सिर्फ अभी ध्यान आकर्षित है हिमालयन रीजन के ऊपर, और हमारा सारा ध्यान हिमालयन रीजन, उसकी चुनौतियाँ और उसमें रहने वाली जो आबादियाँ हैं, ज़्यादातर जनजातियाँ हैं, ज़्यादातर ट्राइबल लोग हैं जो पूरे विकास से वंचित रहे काफ़ी सालों तक, उनको हम किस तरह से उनसे ये सारे काम करवाएं ताकि हिमालय की जो सुरक्षा हमने करनी है, इसके बारे में सभी ने यहाँ बताया, वो सार्थक हो सकती है। तो मैं मेरा फोकस हिमालय के ऊपर रखूँगा और मैं अरुणाचल के ऊपर भी रखूँगा, क्योंकि ये सारा संवाद अरुणाचल का है। तो यहाँ बैठे माननीय अधिकारीगण, श्री श्याम पांडे जी, जनरल सेक्रेटरी, ग्लोबल कोऑर्डिनेटर, सेवा इंटरनेशनल, स्वामी जी, पूज्य स्वामी जी, वेदा सरानंदा जी, सेक्रेटरी, महाराज रामकृष्ण मिशन हॉस्पिटल, ईटानगर, प्रोफेसर अनिल कौल जी, एक्टिंग वाइस चांसलर, इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ पब्लिक हेल्थ, हैदराबाद, डॉक्टर एमी रूमू जी, प्रेसिडेंट इंडिजिनस फेथ एंड कल्चरल सोसाइटी ऑफ अरुणाचल प्रदेश, श्री विजय स्वामी जी, एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर रिवॉच, distinguished guests and invitees, delegates from all over the country and participants from all Himalayan states, friends, media, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by saying that Arunachal is a blessed country. It is blessed because of its environment. It is the largest state in the entire Northeast. It is a green state with 80% of its land under forest cover. It has remained idle but not isolated in the true sense. It was devoid of any development over the years, so it has actually started anew. So I was reading a book which says, don't leapfrog, do pole vault. And I think one big example of this pole vaulting in Arunachal is from 1G we have gone to 4G. I had the privilege of being here many years back. I was commanding the corps in Tezpur and this whole area was under my command. What I saw in 2008-9, there is a sea change to what is happening today in Arunachal. We have a small population, but a very enthusiastic, very cooperative, and people who want to do things today with the new horizons that have been set for them. So the situation is ripe actually today to go full length to do everything that we can. And I'm sure that it is happening. Only thing is we need to give direction. We need to improve upon the systems. We heard Shri Emi Rumiji, people of indigenous faith, the way they have maintained their customs and traditions in the state, the way they love, respect, and pray to the environment. They live with the environment, with the forests, with the rivers, with the mountains. They have huge faith and they have huge sentiment to take care of these mountains here. So that's a big positive as far as Arunachal is concerned. I am sure in other states too. I am aware of Sikkim, Bhutan. I have been in all these states, including Uttarakhand and Himachal, and of course Ladakh. But we have an advantage. So keeping that as a background, let me try and bring some issues to the forefront and try and discuss issues which are happening today. What has the state government done towards meeting these sustainable goals, and specific to water and health? So I would start by saying that HIMSamwaad 25, it holds an immense significance as a platform of collaborative dialogue on the future of Himalayas, with this year's special focus on health and water, as we have just discussed. These are two of the most pressing and interlinked concerns for the region, because they concern your health, they concern your ability to perform duties. In the fragile Himalayan landscape, access to clean water is not just a matter of sustenance, but a key determinant of public health, community resilience. Climate change, glacier retreats, and unsustainable practices are putting increasing pressure on the traditional water sources, as has been said by my speakers before me, which directly impact the health and livelihoods of the communities who are living in these mountainous regions. Therefore, HIMSamwaad 25 provides a timely and a very vital opportunity to bring together experts, policymakers, grassroots voices to explore, innovate, community-driven solutions for water conservation, hygiene, and healthcare delivery. These are the important aspects. By highlighting these interconnected themes, the event reinforces the need for a holistic, sustainable approach for development, one that ensures the well-being of both the people and our planet. This year's focus, being health and water, is both timely and significant. These two sectors are deeply interlinked and foundational to the well-being of our mountain communities. Given the Himalayas region's vulnerability to climate change, natural disasters, and limited access to essential services. Let's come to these two issues, health and water as key SDGs. The issues we are discussing today align with two critical sustainable development goals: good health and well-being, SDG 3, and clean water and sanitation. So achieving these goals is essential not only for the people of Arunachal Pradesh, but for the Himalayan communities all across the country. Health and water are foundations of a thriving society, without which we cannot build sustainable futures. What has been the progress that Arunachal has made in these issues? I'll throw some light on that. I am proud to share that Arunachal has achieved 100% saturation under the Har Ghar Jal scheme, becoming the first state in Northeast and the 10th in India to do so. This is a significant milestone. However, achieving household coverage is just the beginning. The next step is to strengthen water infrastructure within our healthcare system, ensuring health facilities from primary health centers to district hospitals, which has reliable access to clean water. This achievement is one that should be shared, studied, and scaled across the northeastern region. Collaboration among states can lead to a stronger, more resilient Himalayan region. Water harvesting, artificial sarovars have already been constructed in these areas. All the vibrant villages and the remote villages today have tap waters in their houses. They have constructed toilets. They have effective use of water. In the villages, they have been using bamboos to divert streams to collect water. There are also schemes for ensuring that we are blessed with 6-7 rivers which flow down the 6-7 valleys that we have. And there is enough water per se. These are perennial rivers which have enough water to sustain not only this population but many more. You are all aware that these rivers then flow into Brahmaputra, which is almost like a sea in the northeast. As far as the programs are concerned, I would say that water is not really a problem. It is the melting glaciers, the retreating glaciers, it is the habitual system of polluting the rivers which is causing a matter of concern. So the government has taken recourse to these issues, and in the last 2 years or so that I have seen, there have been massive efforts to clean up rivers, to clean up drains, to clean up parks, which are happening through universities, colleges, students, NCC, through volunteers. And if you take up the papers, there are 7, 8 of them, local papers, which I read every day. It's very happy to note that almost everywhere in all districts, some initiative or the other has been taken to ensure that we clean these rivers. We are also blessed to have fairly heavy rainfalls in our areas. And that is, it may be not correct to say, but they are carriers of all the waste away from our areas sometimes. But we don't want that to happen so that they accumulate at the wrong place and then it still belongs to us. Therefore, I'll come to the efforts that the state is taking to correct these issues. Moving forward, our efforts in Arunachal Pradesh have shown significant progress. In addition to traditional healing practices of state, we have made strides in expanding medical education by proposing additional seats in the MBBS. We are getting a new medical college. This is something which the state faces today. Because of small population, we are unable to have our own doctors, engineers, nurses, and teachers. We have been assisted by our neighboring states in all these fields. A time has come for us to become self-sufficient in these issues. So, we are endeavoring to ensure that more of these people are trained. We have almost 7 private universities, 1 central and 1 state university, and these universities have been charged with the responsibility to ensure that we have adequate number of people who are trained over the years. I have proposed to the government that all inhabitants of Arunachal who enjoy the facility of being a scheduled tribe, once they complete their education and become doctors, engineers, and teachers and nurses, we have a bond with them that they serve in the state for 2 to 3 years compulsorily. That's the only way we will be able to have all these people available in our districts and remote areas and look after our own people. Well, everybody who achieves a degree wants to go out and seek better remunerations. But I think we owe it to our state, and I am sure that this issue will be deliberated and accepted in due course. We also recognize the value of our indigenous systems of knowledge, traditional healing practices, water conservation methods, and community norms, which offer valuable insights into sustainability. In this spirit, Arunachal Pradesh State Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan represents our commitment to integrating community participation with environment health priorities. So, what is the importance of the indigenous knowledge that we are talking of, which has been elaborated by the minister himself? People of Arunachal Pradesh are at the heart and soul of this beautiful state. Diverse in their languages, traditions, and lifestyles, the indigenous communities have here embody a deep sense of cultural pride and resilience. Every tribe of the state contributes to the rich mosaic that makes Arunachal Pradesh unique. These communities have lived in harmony with their environment for centuries, nurturing a close relationship with nature which reflects in their customs, their festivals, art forms, and rituals. Their way of life, which has been built on values of community, respect for elders, and sustainable resource use, offers invaluable lessons on how to live with the land. It is through their cultural richness and traditional knowledge systems that we can draw inspiration for sustainable practices, not just in health and water management, but safeguarding our ecosystems. These cultural practices passed down through generations, which the minister did mention that these practices are fading away with the new generation. Well, it has happened everywhere. New generation always takes a turn and they go on a separate line. But believe you me, the new generation is efficient. The new generation is keen. It is not for nothing today that Arunachal has 6 women who have climbed Everest. Arunachal is earning sports medal in international, national, and state levels. Arunachal has got women. There is a lady who's she's earned a gold medal in bodybuilding in the world. Now, this speaks a lot for the people of the state, and especially the youth. There is a huge curiosity amongst the youth to run MSMEs here. There is a curiosity amongst men to participate. They want to be part of the game. And as they get more exposures, they learn. And I am very sure that they will carry on their shoulders when the time comes. Because I've been saying this to the colleges, universities, and the people here, that the dream of Viksit Bharat 47 has been initiated by the Prime Minister now some years back. But it will be these youth sitting today in our schools and colleges who will shoulder the responsibility of acquiring or finishing this task in 47. We all may not be there at that time. So it is but natural for us to groom these students to become good citizens. And while being chancellor of most of the universities and colleges, I have set a standard for Arunachal education system to say that if we want good citizens and we want good leaders here, there are 3 prerequisites. He should be Shikshit, Anushasit, Prerit. He should be educated, he should be disciplined, and he should be motivated. If we can groom our present generation on these 3 aspects, I think we will be able to produce good leaders better than us also, who knows, in the future. So I have a whole lot of hope on the next generation, despite their inadequacies at certain times. A lot of them are using drugs, some of them are dropping from schools. Now these issues are being addressed today. We have had to close a lot of schools in the last 2-3 years because in the far-reaching areas, a village has just 10 houses or 12 houses. So there are hardly any students. So either there were no students adequate or there were no teachers. So we closed a lot of primary schools. So what we have learned from this is that because of the dispersion of population and the very thin population ratio that we have here, it is better to run residential schools. And I have seen the change in the residential schools. The children who have been kept there, who are being taught by the teachers, they are being socially and educationally groomed. They really become very smart. Otherwise, when they leave school and come home, there is nobody to take their homeworks. They are generally put on the land to till because everybody has a lot of lands here. So we are trying to improve the system. The implementation of higher education system has also been deliberated. Our education minister Sonaji has been going to various districts, holding Chintan Shivers, trying to talk to the people, asking them what they want and telling them what they will get and how they have to, pursue their careers in whichever stream that they want. Yet another tradition which the indigenous faith people have here, which people may not be aware, they call it the sacred groves. Many tribes protect forest as a sacred space, untouched by human exploitation. The sacred groves of Zero, located in lush valleys of Arunachal Pradesh, are a remarkable example of indigenous ecological wisdom and cultural reverence for nature. It has been preserved for generations by the Apatanai tribe. These forest patches are considered spiritually significant and are strictly protected from any form of exploitation, such as logging, hunting, or cultivation. There are seasonal hunting bans and ritual taboos. Communities regulate hunting and harvesting through cultural festivals and taboos. Of late, I've been attending almost all the tribes' festivals, and these festivals all relate to harvesting seasons. We have been following, like some other states, also sacrifices of animals during these festivals. We are trying to make them understand that if you love nature and you love flora and fauna, why kill them? Why don't you worship the animals? Because they give you so much. The change is perceptive. It will come. And I am sure that this change will ensure that we not only say that we take care, but we actually take care of these things. Traditional ecological knowledge, indigenous knowledge about plants, species, wildlife behavior, and climatic patterns, they guide sustainable use of resources. Now, those who live amongst the forests, they are aware of all these issues. All we need to do is to guide them so that the development and modernization which has to take place in the state does not tread over these traditions and customs. So, all development that is taking place in Arunachal, we have built 4,000 kilometers of road in last 6-7 years. Today we are starting to build a frontier highway. It was a dream in our early years when we served here. To go from one place to other, we had to come down the valley, travel, again go up the valley, again come down, again go up. It took days to reach any place. Now this road starting from Bomdila in the west will go all across the valleys till Kibitu and Vijayanagar. Now imagine the advantage that the people will have, the circulation of people, circulation of goods, and we are a sensitive border state. There is a whole lot of army, paramilitary deployed on our borders. Imagine their mobilization. It takes so much of time. With what is happening with our neighbor in the northeast, I think we need to be more agile. We need to be able to concentrate our forces in places. So all this will help. I'm coming to that point that how development and how protection of forest environment and all can take place when there is so much of need of making roads, building infrastructures, ALGs, helipads. So there is a method in the madness also. I'll come to it in a while. There is another tradition here of Apatani wetland system. It's a UNESCO recognized practice of wet rice cultivation which integrates with fish farming, showcasing sustainable agroecology. So they have their rice beds filled with water and they release small fishlings in it who just eat up all the insects and all. So the type of rice you have is something which everybody would want to carry from here. Arunachal Pradesh stands at the cusp of transformative development. I've been saying so. With expanding road networks, clean energy projects and growing tourism sector which promises new opportunities for progress and prosperity. I think all the departments in the state are today in an overdrive. We have the largest opportunity of tourism in this state, starting from adventure, religious, from eco, from border tourism, from music tourism, from festivals. There is a huge potential, but we are treading carefully. Unless we have the infrastructure ready, we cannot open our gates and just say, everybody come visit us. Today we are starting to make homestays in border areas. Now, they are okay for a small group of people who come and stay. Imagine if lakhs of people were to come to Arunachal suddenly next year, we'll be overwhelmed. And that also relates to the protection and sustenance of these development goals. So what Arunachal is doing, it is balancing the need of generating economy vis-a-vis ensuring that the environmental aspects are not trodden upon, which is very important. When you discuss these issues, I think a lot of issues will come from the people who are here. So what I'm saying is this momentum is guided by a thoughtful and balanced approach, one that safeguards the state's pristine forest, vibrant rivers, rich wildlife, which are natural treasures and also foundation of its cultural and ecological identity. By aligning development with sustainability, Arunachal is emerging as a shining example of how economic growth and environmental stewardship can go hand in hand. I am sure during the discussions these issues will come up and there will be many lessons to learn and share with the other Himalayan states. In 21, the Arunachal government made a Pake declaration. It was a unique climate change resolution involving all stakeholders, that is, government, civil society, and tribal communities, to pursue climate resilient development. It emphasizes nature based solutions, low emissions development, and the integration of indigenous knowledge into climate action. As one of the first such declarations in Northeast, it reflects Arunachal Pradesh's visionary leadership in aligning ecological preservation with inclusive and sustainable progress. They have taken recourse to banning single-use plastics. If I narrate to you, we have a huge music festival here in Zero every year in September. It's an international music festival. There are thousands of people who come from various states, they come from foreign countries, and it's a massive musical organza there, which goes on for, I think, few days. Some very good things are happening there. There is a total plastic ban. So anybody coming with a water bottle, it is retained. They are not allowed to take. What they do is they issue you a jug with a sling. What you are wearing today, an iCard, there's a jug hanging in everybody. So that is for your 4 days of drinking anything, from water to liquor to tea to anything. You drink, you clean, you keep. And when you go, you can return it back and take your bottle. I saw another advertisement somewhere, maybe it was a joke, but I think it could be done. They take your plastic bottles and put a sticker, 50 rupees, and make you pay 50 rupees there. So that when you come back, you get your 50 rupees by that bottle will come back to you after you pay. These are some very local issues that they have come up, but they are giving us ideas of how to control large crowds. Look at these tourist stations in the country today. I'll start from Shimla, Nainital, Mussoorie. You come down, they are bursting at the seams. There is no place to stay. If you roam on the Mall Road, you are just rubbing shoulders with other tourists. We don't want that to happen. So we are already studying tourism patterns in various countries and places. So one example is Kerala, the other example is Bhutan. I have served in Bhutan also. Bhutan is also a largish country, not as large as Arunachal. Its population is even lesser than ours. Maybe when I was there in 2007-8, it was barely, I think, 8 lakhs or so. But they have tourism only in the western part. Thimphu, Paro, that area. And they have made a tourism, a high-end tourism, in the way that people come in aircrafts there, chartered aircrafts, as families or friends, and every person who is in Bhutan spending 5, 10, 15 days, he pays $200 per person per day to the government. What he gets in return is a fantastic method of how the people, the locals, there is a group of 4 or 5 boys and girls, everything is handled by them. Their accommodation, their travel, what they will see, where they will go, what they will eat. And they make that tour so interesting that they go so satisfied they send more people there. It was only Indians who did not require a visa to come on into Bhutan. Probably now they have started rethinking, because a lot of Indian tourists actually go there. Orissa, Bengal, these areas. And our population is so large. So they understood that if such a lot of people come here, they will be overwhelmed. So they are restricting it. I don't know, there is a middle part to this as to how we can organize our systems. But I am still saying that tourism should not be a means to just earn money and economize. It has to be very carefully arranged and carried out so that you get adequate people here. Your people benefit from the tourists for where they stay, where they eat, where they go, what they see. But we don't get overwhelmed by people on the streets who have no place to go or no accommodation available. If you travel from Itanagar to any of these valleys today, there aren't many places where you can halt for a little refreshment or you want to, use the services. All that has to come, and that has to come in a very systematic manner. So we are at a spot where we have everything going. We know what we have to do. Only thing is that has to be done in a very planned and organized manner. I made a mention of the aspects of cleaning rivers, streams, parks, public places. Now, one of the biggest challenge we have in Arunachal is disposal of waste. We have these vibrant villages and we have remote villages where there is heavy rainfall, there is jungle, so there is a lot of slush. Now, if you don't maintain your surroundings, then it breeds a lot of, we have cases of TB, there are some cancer cases. Cancer is more because of lifestyle. We smoke a lot, we drink a lot, we eat red meat. When I went to Prince and met the director and I went and saw the whole hospital, I was surprised at the number of cases there. So he told me, he says, sir, this is lifestyle which is followed by people. So we are now trying to give them advice, how to rectify this. So we have found a good method. Other than the social awareness campaigns that we run, we have installed a community radio in our university here in Itanagar, in the Rajiv Gandhi University. And now we have a plan to install this in all districts. This community radio will give voice to the voiceless. It will bring the communities on air, telling their own people what they should do. If the administration or if I go or if some minister goes and tells them change this is not good for you, they listen to you, but how soon will they use it as a practice? It takes time. But if their own people are there who are talking and who are telling them that these are practices we need to amend. In their customs and traditions, if they change something, this will not hurt anybody. It will only improve your health. Why should people from the villages get addicted to drugs? In the villages, you have a Gaon Buddha, you have a Panchayat, you have a community leader. Tell me, in a village of 10, 15, 20, 30 houses, if one child is taking drugs, you mean to say nobody knows about it? They do. So that is where our initiatives are to tell them how to manage it. Because if you don't check that one child, there will be 10 more who would be joining him. We have found ways and means to look at this, but we are trying to bring down the things. So I'll tell you what measures we are adopting. Okay. Challenges. Now, as I said, challenges basically health. So, yes, there is Jan Aushadhi, there is Sarkar Aapke Dwar, there is Drone Didi to send medicines. These are on papers, they are looking good, but on ground we have to make them practically viable. We are touring districts, so we are seeing it. So we want that this should happen. The other thing which I am pursuing with this government, and I am very happy to say that we are on the same page, we need to use technology in a big way to find answers to our solutions. I have proposed 4 or 5 different types of applications which we must develop. There is one for vibrant villages. There is one for disaster management. There is third one for anti-drug. And there is a fourth one which is terrain related. Now, all these applications are going to be based on satellite imageries and run on a high-end GIS platform. I've had some experience in doing this because before I came here, I was in the corporate and we were developing software applications for defense. So we are taking that example here. The anti-drug is almost ready. With the DG police, we have sat down. So what we have done, we have taken 10, 20, 15, 20 years of empirical and historical data and loaded it on this. Now, when you open this application on a imagery, we have a menu. There is an element of artificial intelligence in that. It shows you all the routes from where the drugs are coming. Now, you can't reach where it is coming because it's coming from Myanmar, it is coming from the neighboring state. But it tells you where it terminates. It terminates in our villages. It terminates in houses which belong to us. So the whole patrolling pattern has changed. We are not roaming around along the borders trying to see, lay ambushes and find out who's coming from where. We may not get so many people that way, but we have started keeping a watch where it is coming for distribution. The instances have decreased. It is not sufficiently decreased, but it is on the decrease. The second thing we did was, I was very happy when I went to Tirap Changlang, and when I was in Longding, we had a meeting with the administration, and then the self-help ladies requested me to come to the rehabilitation center there. So before that, they said, you come to our ganging. We went to that mandir, and I saw the ritual, what they follow. Now, when that was done, I found about 20 children sitting there. Now, this lady told me, sir, inse bhi miliye, baatchit kariye. So I asked them, what's your name, what are you doing? They were absolutely normal kids who were doing this or that. So I asked her, I said, why did you want me to specifically meet them? She says, sir, they were all drug addicts. We have brought them out. And what she told me amazed me. She says, we realized in the rehabilitation center, these children are given some medicines, whatever is prescribed, and then they are lying on their bed staring at the roof. Once or twice in a day, somebody takes them out for a walk. They can't go too far, and they just bring back. There is no dialogue, there is no communication. So they are mentally, psychologically, they are depressed. So a group of ladies decided, some amongst them were mothers of these children. They decided to nurture them. They spent hours with them, telling them stories, taking care of them, taking them out. There was somebody to talk to them. And in a very short time, they recovered. Now, this was a miracle. That they could do it in a short time, what was not happening for maybe years. So I immediately made a suggestion to the Chief Minister. I said, these children should be called here, they should be felicitated, and we must make them the anti-drug ambassadors of Arunachal. Because they will now travel to the other rehabilitation centers and get the others out of it. Who knows better what they go through other than the chap who has himself been a victim of drugs? So we are trying to find methods and means how we can, from health point of view, bring down the parameters. There is already a pressure on us because the Prime Minister has announced to UN that we will eradicate TB in the country by end of 25. It is right next few months now. But what I find is that this is a contagious disease. So if early detection doesn't take place, then people from the family, neighborhood also get affected. So today the situation is if there are 2,000 cases this year, there are almost 1,800 who will recover, but next year as many will again come there. So we are static at one place. So we are finding ways and means. I am talking of technology. The terrain app is one of the most dynamic app that you can have. It is based on the satellite imageries. Today our own Cartosat satellites are orbiting the Earth. We are getting a sub-metric resolution on the imageries. The imageries, when you zoom in, you can see the number plates of a vehicle. It can give you anything which is submetric, maybe 2 feet, 1 feet long. Using that and using the AI and running it on a high grade GIS, what can it do? It can give you the cropping pattern of the state, what is going where. So if you have the AI and tell him that I want to see where the poppy is growing, so just at a click, dots will appear, you zoom in, you get the lat long, you inform the district DC, this is the place, go sort it out. Otherwise, nobody will tell you where they are growing. Secondly, it gives you the bathymetric data of the rivers and lakes. Now, we have some glacial lakes in the upper regions close to the boundary. So what I have told the army is, the army has been incorporated as a co-developer for vibrant villages. They are doing a great job. The army and the paramilitary forces have got a great coordination with the population and with the administration. So a lot of good work is being done there. The challenge is that unlike the other states which are on the borders in Himalayas, from Ladakh to almost Sikkim, all their villages are right on the borders. Arunachal, found most villages are 20, 30, 40 kilometers away from the borders. There is a huge vacant space there along this almost 800 kilometers of border with China or Tibet. So that's a challenge. We need to protect that area. So we have devised methods how the army and the civilians will work together. In most places, you need some grazing areas for your animals, so they can move with the army closer. They can establish temporary camp there, so they can graze their animals. They can look after the flora fauna. And who knows that the migration which had taken place from these forward villages towards the cities is slowly reversing because all the facilities have reached there. And our aim is in few years from now, the population moves slightly ahead, which helps them to protect this. The third thing this does is that it monitors the lakes and the rivers. You have the GIS tools which can tell you how much inundation will take place when the water levels rise up to X, Y, or Z. It can tell you the seismic aspects of these lakes and these rivers. And what happened in Sikkim, God forbid, should not happen anywhere with the burst of one of the lakes which caused so much of damage. So we are asking the army that as part of adventure tourism, map these lakes in your areas. Take the civilian youth there. Let them become guides. So when tourism starts, they can take the tourist on a trek towards the lakes, spend some time, come back. So they will keep getting monitored, otherwise also. We don't have any polluting industry as yet. And we have decided that we will want industries, but food processing, textiles, IT, non-polluting industries will come here. So the government, the people, and the environment is all getting meshed in. There is a huge aspect of cooperation, coordination amongst all. It is not very fully done, I agree. But we are on the right lines. And if we proceed this way, then, like we have said, that it is necessary to develop, it is necessary to upgrade your systems. So if on the pretext that we can't disturb the forest, we can't go into a lake, we can't do this thing, then we will stay as we are. But keeping the ecological aspect in mind, the development is going to take place without disturbing the customs and traditions of the tribes here. And they fully understand. We have gone into interiors. I had commissioned one of the electronic media to take an interview in the area of Kibitu, Bolong, the eastern part. I wish you could see it. They have gone round speaking to every person in the village, from Gaon Buda to Panchayat, to tribal communities, to the youth, to the boys and girls who are running small enterprises there. You must hear what they are saying. It's an amazing thing. There is one yojana called Lakpati Didi. I am sure most of you know it. Today, Arunachal has more than 20,000 Lakpati Didis. And what they are doing? They are just going to the farmlands, picking up the farm products. They go to the looms, pick up the handicrafts, handlooms. They package it and they come and sell it in the towns. They earn a profit because it sells on a margin. That money goes to their account. I was in Rohing visiting and I met 25 women. So they were all giggling when I asked them, "Kya kar rahe hain?" So one lady got up and said, "हम तो पढ़ा लिखा नहीं है, लेकिन ये दीदी बोला साथ में चलो." हमको बता दिया तो कोई मुश्किल नहीं था. फिर हम गया, सब लेके आया, उधर बेचा और उसका प्रॉफिट हमको मिल गया. It was so simple the way she talked. So I said, "Okay, कब से हो रहा है?" अब अभी 8-10 महीना हो गया है. Then I asked the final question, तो अभी आपका बैंक में कितना पैसा हुआ? So she was very shy. She says, "Sir, अब तो 1 लाख से ऊपर हो गया." This is a great success story which is coming from Arunachal. We have so much of potential. We have 5 lakh metric tons of food growing here, which is overly surplus for us. We are finding markets to take it out. We are trying to make places to store them, warehouses. We produce 8,000 metric tons of kiwis. This is a rare fruit. We only know New Zealand producing this. So I sent a crate of kiwis to all ministers. I sent them to embassies. We are now getting requests. We have already signed a LLC with Dubai for exporting our kiwis there. So the farmers will get their due. Similarly, oranges, similarly, pineapple. We are planning to plant oil palm in our state over 45,000 hectares. We have already done 10,000. When we do 45,000, India will be palm oil. They will not have to import it from Southeast Asia. There's a proposal to make rubber plantations here. Again, 40 to 50,000 hectares. Rubber is growing here in districts. Moment we start this project, we will be exporting rubber. So we are directly contributing to the economy of the country. The hydropower that we have got, our potential is enormous because of these rivers, but we are careful in saying how much and what we do. We are already power surplus. Three power projects are getting fructified. We'll get another 4,000-5,000 megawatts. There are 13 projects which are on the anvil. When these fructify in another 5 years, we will have 20 to 30,000 megawatts surplus which will be on the national grid. The equity will give the state 15 to 20,000 crores a year. Now, we are already making a plan that when we get this money, it should not get wasted. So, public welfare, public benefits, we don't have public transport here. So people find it difficult to travel from remote areas. They hire a taxi, they end up paying all their money which they have saved. So a lot of things have to happen here. And I am saying this with great deal of certainty that we are on the right lines. We are a late starter. We only became a state in 87, but we are catching up. And we are pole vaulting. We are not leapfrogging. So when it comes to looking after Himalayas, looking after the environment, we are one of the 20 largest biodiversity parks in the world. The forest cover is so enormous. So we are very careful in ensuring that this doesn't dilute. So when there are projects of roads or institutions coming up, we do compensatory afforestation. We have to really find areas where we can do this. But that is going on. And we are making sure that we don't lose this. Today we live in a pollution-free environment, which is a big, big blessing. Most states in the Himalayan region live in this, but because of the pollution which has been created, there is garbage, there is waste, there is noise, there are so many things. We are going to ensure it doesn't happen here. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end, I just want to commend Seva International for organizing HIMSamwaad 25 in Arunachal. Thank you very much. It's a visionary platform that fosters meaningful dialogue on the future of Himalayas. Through this initiative, Seva International has brought together diverse voices to reflect on sustainable development, environmental protection, and cultural preservation in one of the world's most fragile and vital regions. Your commitment to selfless service and nation building shines through this effort, and I deeply appreciate the organization's dedication to empowering communities while safeguarding our rich Himalayan heritage for generations to come. I also extend my heartfelt appreciations to Rewatch for successfully organizing HIMSamwaad here, a truly commendable initiative that brings together voices, ideas, and aspirations for the Himalayas. By creating a platform for dialogue on sustainable development, cultural preservation, and ecological stewardship, Rewatch has once again demonstrated its unwavering commitment to the well-being of both the people and the nature. So what is the call to action? In conclusion, the way forward lies in continued collaboration among stakeholders, including government agencies, academic institutions, civil society, and most importantly, the local communities. We must invest in capacity building, adopt sustainable strategies, and stay rooted in local wisdom while embracing innovations. Let the Himalayan dialogue serve not just as a forum for discussion, but as a launchpad for action to build resilient systems, ensure clean water and good health, and secure a sustainable future for all Himalayan communities. I am sure the discussions that you are going to have hereinafter will bring out all these aspects. Let us come to problem solving. There are a lot of problems and they have all been said here today. There are challenges that we have. But I think the wisdom and the knowledge which this audience, with the experts who have participating in this whole Samvad, they possess, they should be able to find answers to these intricate problems that we have. And I am sure that Arunachal will have a lot to give you, because what is happening in the state, some of which I have been able to try and bring it out, they are in a position to say how we are developing, and maybe there will be good lessons to carry. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Jai Arunachal, Jai Hind.